Welcome back to another episode of We Roguelike It Ranking. I'm your host, Scientist Boston. Joining me, as always, my fellow scientist, Moonpeer.
It's Dr. Moon. Thank you very much.
That's right, Dr. Moonpeer. And Monkey Senior.
Hey.
Monkey Senior PhD.
That's what I was going to suggest. Monkey Senior PhD.
We're going to talk about our ranking for Void Bastards, but first let's go through our top 10 as it stands right now. Starting off with Sunless Sea, going from bottom to top. Sunless Sea, Don't Starve, Cave Blazers, Riddled Corpses EX, Prey Moon Crash, The Swords of Ditto Classic, Darkest Dungeon 20XX, Crypt of the Necrodancer, and as we talked about in the last episode, at the top as it should be, Hand of Fate. So we're going to do something a little bit differently this time. We're going to talk about our overall thoughts about Void Bastards, since now our 4 weeks are done. We've put in the time. Now we can sort of talk about our overall impressions. Let's start with you, Moonpeer.
Okay, well, let's start from the start. Void Bastards does a pretty great job of, well, number one, its style. And the presentation that it has. It does an incredible job of actually bringing you into that world really easily, but also in a believable/funny manner. Because let's face it, the setup for the game is a little stupid.
It's
and
really
in
weird.
how stupid it is, it's so good actually.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like a B movie from like the 50s or the 60s, like one of those kind of introductions. And then it just throws you in and it's like, go ahead, knock yourself out, have fun.
Yep. Rehydrating prisoners. Sounds great.
Yeah. With that stupid pink sloop and whatever the hell else is just it's so gross, but that doesn't get old no matter how many times you die. And I died a lot.
Yes.
A lot.
Yep.
So it's kind of interesting that it just never gets too bad on top of that. Like, it always feels interesting to see the new person that you're going to see. Like, it does an amazing job of doing that. And then obviously you're left to go and explore the nebula with all of the stupid monsters and that do stupid things and stupid kill you because they're stupid.
Yep.
The game is not stupid.
No.
The monsters
The
are
enemies are stupid because they're killing you. Yeah. No. Monkey Senior, how about you?
Yeah, this game is really fun to play. I really love all the bars you can fill for upgrading, because they really didn't need to have that bar, because whenever you highlight it, like, you see what you need. But just seeing those bars fill whenever you come back and with whatever loot you've gotten, just like,
you got 3 bars fill.
Yeah. And the best thing about that as well is they also do the great /debag thing with roguelikes, where it's like you see 2 bars fill halfway and you're like, oh, and then you realize it's the exact same thing for both of them. So now you've got that Sophie's choice of which one are you going to pick.
Which one are you going to make? So it's really cool. And plus, in addition to that, all the upgrades are pretty cool. Like, each new weapon is fairly different, and then whenever you upgrade that weapon, you're like, oh, this is really good now. Like,
and it looks different in the world too. Like, it's not just the same gun but stronger. It gets bigger. It looks different.
It's a really good game. Really fun to play.
I think one of the things that really struck me for Void Bastards that I don't think will get enough credit in general is its writing. There isn't a ton of it in the game, but all of it is really, really good. And I think
even the ambient writing and like the stupid PA announcements on all the stupid ships.
Yep.
Like, please note there is a delay on getting this form. This form must be filled out for you to breathe air. There is a 30-minute wait for this form, and it's just like, okay, sure. Why not?
Yeah, like, all the pirates are written really well. Your handler, that robot, is really great, because he feels no remorse over the job that he's doing. The descriptions for what your prisoners did to get thrown in jail is always really good.
Yeah.
The number of positive and negative traits is really great. I feel like a lot of the traits, whether or not they did it purposely, took a lot of inspiration from Rogue Legacy. It certainly felt the same, where it's like, all right, let's see what this guy's got when I'm re-rolling. But I feel like the perk pool pool is way bigger than Rogue Legacy was. Like we're still getting, buffs and debuffs and perks that we've never seen before. None of us have seen the proper nouns perk either. Yeah. So like there's just a ton of stuff in there, and I think it's a bummer that Void Bastards maybe doesn't play super well compared to modern shooters, and I think that's a benefit because it very much feels like a 90s shooter where it's not really worrying about super placement or shooting off limbs or anything like that. But I think for a lot of people that are interested in roguelikes and see this as part of Game Pass and want to go try it, I think some of the shooting in the early game might turn them off and saying like, well, the shooting isn't really great in the shooter, but I think that's kind of a positive. It feels very much like a 90s shooter where it's like you're going to go into a room, you're going to blast a whole bunch of enemies, and they're going to die and drop stuff. So,
yeah, it's Doom, not Dead Space.
Exactly. Yeah, put that on the back of the box. Yeah. And I feel like it's one of the few games we've seen that has tried to do comic book style and gotten it...
Nailed it?
Yeah, nailed it really successfully.
Really good style.
Yeah, because I feel like...
Let's face it, there's only one other contender for that throne.
Comic Zone?
No. Comic Zone is okay, but come on, I'm talking about 13.
Yeah, 13 did it. 13, I'm very curious to see what
if it holds.
The remaster of 13 is going to look like, because I feel like it could look really good if you spend a little bit of time giving that game TLC. It could look a lot like Void Bastards does. All right, with all of our recaps out of the way, let's rank Void Bastards here. I'm going to scooch this here at the bottom of the list. So we asked our questions here in order. Is Void Bastards better than Sunless Sea?
Well, it's not paced like a glacier slowly dissolving as climate change happens, so yes, it's better than Sunless Sea.
I would agree.
I would agree. I would agree with that. Is Void Bastards better than Don't Starve?
Yes. It's deeper for me. It's deeper. It's more enjoyable, and it's an actual roguelike, not a survival game.
I would agree with that.
Me as well.
And don't forget, people, Moonpeer's rule that he will remind me of at some point, and that is what we're deciding here in the list, not whether or not Void Bastards is a better game than another game, it's whether it's a better roguelike than another game. I should have prefaced that. Is Void Bastards... Go ahead.
Are we referring to that as Moonpeer's rule, though?
No, I just wanted to call it that, because you keep reminding me, and it's like, oh, right, yes, you're right.
It is now.
Yeah. Congratulations. Is Void Bastards better than Riddled Corpses EX?
You missed one, but sure.
Is Void Bastards better than Cave Blazers? Sorry about that.
My opinion is yes. I know probably some people might disagree.
I would agree.
It is. I would agree.
Is Void Bastards better than Riddled Corpses EX?
It has depth, yes.
I would agree. Is Void Bastards better than Prey Moon Crash?
I love Prey Moon Crash. I really love Prey Moon Crash. Monkey, you go first. Is it better?
I still need to play it.
Oh,
I keep forgetting.
Okay.
I keep forgetting.
I would say
that's the one game on the list I haven't played yet.
I would say yes, because I think Void Bastards has more level variety than Prey Moon Crash does. I mean, Prey Moon Crash has... You can memorize that station, and the only variables above that are power, flooding, electricity, that sort of stuff. But I think Prey Moon Crash, or Void Bastards, has different types of ships. Like, this ship is going to have a dining area, so you know you're going to get a ton of food in this one. Or this one has a bunch of bullets in it, so if you're running low on ammo, you want to make sure you get one of those. And I think that is a larger... And I think it's a little bit of a better shooter. Prey also isn't a great shooter by itself.
Prey is not a great shooter.
It's fine, but all right.
Prey is a shooter in the same way BioShock is a shooter, which is to say,
right?
Okay,
it's there. Yeah.
All right, functions.
We'll move Void Bastards over Prey Moon Crash. Is Void Bastards better than the Swords of Ditto classic?
Yes, they share a lot of the same not pedigree, but the same thesis behind them, which is to say it's a permanent world, and all you're getting is a new character to progress the same world a little bit further.
True,
So
that's a good point.
It's very much a similar kind of approach to the roguelike elements. I love Swords of Ditto. I think Swords of Ditto Classic is
Thank you.
it's a genuinely fantastic game. I think when we spoke about it, I mentioned that it seemed a little slow for me. Like
Yeah.
it is very much that Zelda style, and it's a very good intro to the roguelike genre. I like Void Bastards more. Number one, it's got a curse word in the title.
Yep.
Number two, the monsters constantly curse at you, as do the pirates and everybody
true.
else. It's a much more mature, bite-size, like very quick first-person shooter. Do a couple of levels, blah 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 blah, done done done. It's much more digestible
And I
than
think
Swords of Ditto feels like to me.
I think Swords of Ditto Classic, I think we had talked about it, that dying in Ditto Classic felt very punishing. Is you restart all the way to the back, and I think part of what I like so much about Void Bastards is death is not great. You're losing a character with maybe perks you've built up with the gene station. Maybe you have a whole bunch of ammo and you're really ready to go. You may got a couple torpedoes or something. So death is inconvenient, but you don't have to start from the beginning of the game where it's like, go find an ID card. You don't have to do any of that. I think that's a big plus for Void Bastards over Ditto Classic.
It also has the thing where you are limited in Void Bastards. It happens all the time. You prefer using the pistol, you run out of pistol bullets real quick, and then all of a sudden you're forced to use other items. I think Monkey actually brought it up with Swords of Ditto was... And at the end of that game, you have the two toys that you love to use, and they are the two toys that you stick with. It doesn't matter if they're part of the world. Like, I found the giant conker, so I used that giant conker every single chance I got.
Right.
It's like, I found the two toys that worked for me, and that's it. I didn't experiment with all the other stuff, whereas this kind of forces you to experiment with other stuff. And then the upgrades in this are more than just, oh, now you do poison damage. Now it's this stupid little kitten thing that was useless. Now all of a sudden is one of the most powerful things in the game.
It destroys an entire space station. Yeah. Okay. I will put that over Swords of Ditto then. Is Void Bastards better than Darkest Dungeon?
Moonpier rule in effect. Moonpier rule in effect here, folks.
I say yes. I think it's a better roguelike than Darkest Dungeon.
It is as well.
I was expecting much more argument from Boston on this one.
Each run is a lot shorter than Darkest Dungeon, so...
Thankfully.
Yes.
Yeah, I think like we've talked about before, Darkest Dungeon is a really great game, and it's a pretty good roguelike. Is Void Bastards better than 20XX?
Mm.
I think here it stops. Just because, like how I was talking about earlier and in the last episode, whenever I wasn't playing Void Bastards, I didn't want to go play it. Like, whenever I'm playing it, it's really fun, but whenever I'm not playing it, I don't want to play it. And 20XX, like, when we were playing that, I just always wanted to play it.
Your Twitter feed was nothing but 20XX for like 4 solid weeks. It was just like, okay, Monkey really likes this game.
Yeah, all the way in.
I really like that game, so...
Moon, how do you feel? Because I would say Void Bastards is better than 20XX. I feel because I think Void Bastards has a more cohesive style than 20XX did. I think 20XX's style was a little bit all over the place, and I think the number of upgrades and the potential for variance in runs in Void Bastards was a little bit better for me. And I think that for me, I had a lot more fun playing Void Bastards. I think 20XX is a really great game. I think it's a really great roguelike.
It's definitely on the harder spectrum of roguelikes. Like,
and I think
it's up there with being like, especially, I mean, Monkey, you did it too. Like, those last 2 levels are really like, we're gonna poop on your face kind of levels. Like, they just are so punishing.
Tiebreaker Moonpier. This is why we have 3 people on the show now.
For me, it goes above it, but it goes above it for one reason and one reason only. And this is not meant as an insult to 20XX. It feels more original. The gameplay style might not be more original, but they're telling an original story, and it's kind of an ode to 90s shooters, but at the same time, 20XX, you look at that, and that could be a Mega Man game.
Right, you're like,
it basically is.
it's Mega Man 2, okay, I see. But you don't look at Void Bastions and go, oh, that's Doom 2.
No. You look at that main title screen and you think, why are all these people in prison jumpsuits?
Why does that guy with the helmet got real big eyes?
Mm-hmm.
Why does the main menu look like a comic book? This is interesting.
Yeah, I think it takes it from me just on style and originality alone. Like, it, literally for me, the two of them were like neck and neck. Like, literally, I could have gone either way for this. Like, I was like, I don't know. It is and it isn't. It is and it isn't.
Yeah.
Like,
this
20XX, I feel controls better. It's a nice, tight, like super accurate control scheme. Nightmarishly difficult platforming in some places.
Yeah.
But then 20XX, I think, looks a little bit better, and like occasionally, like just when you get a stupid little thing running at you calling you the C word, it's kind of hilarious.
Right. Okay,
you
so
know,
we'll scooch that above. And is Void Bastards better than Crypt of the Necrodancer? Everyone say it all at once. No. Yeah, I figured this was where we're going to stop, because I think...
Crypt is so good.
Yeah, I to me, I think they're really close. I don't think Void Bastards is better than Hand of Fate. I think we have yet to find a game that beats that for me. I think Void Bastards and Crypt personally are really close, but I think there's something about Crypt that is just going to put it right over Void Bastards.
I think with Crypt, it's one of those things where it's like, how did that game A not exist?
Right.
Mm-hmm. And B, when it did exist, how did they make it so perfect?
Right.
Like controls, music, story, plot, animation, art, everything. Like
Freddie Mercury, everything.
Yeah, like Crypt is ridiculously good.
Yeah.
I mean, they got Nintendo to give them the license for Zelda.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
For Cadence, so that speaks to how good it is.
The best thing about that is they didn't even get Nintendo to do it. Nintendo offered it to them.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, that's insane. You don't do that unless you've made something truly special.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me, Void Bastards is really close, but I think Crypt stays at number 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so our top 3 games, bottom and top, Void Bastards, Crypt of the Necrodancer, and still at the top, Hand of Fate. And as we talked about in last episode, next game is Risk of Rain. We'll be playing that for 4 weeks. And we'll see you all.
I can't wait to hate this game.
We see you all next run. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.